Welcome to the Bobby Drew Show with your host, Bobby Drew, David, and Brian.
Oh, welcome to Bobby Drew Show. I'm Bobby Drew. We got David, ESPN tournament champ over there. Brian over on that side. He's the sports guy. He knows everything sports. And we got to see another week of football because football season is back. It's back in full swing. We got one more week of preseason left. Week 2 just wrapped up. And I got to watch some games. I was trying to catch the first quarter of as many games as possible to see some starters, see who's playing, who is not. And then the last bit of the games to see what kind of backups maybe I can stash on my fantasy roster. But we were just talking pre-show about some things that happened in the preseason. And there's some players that look good. And there's some that just don't look bad. There's some teams that you're like, man, they actually might be good. And there's just some teams where you're like, it does not look good at all. So, Brian, how did you feel about Drake May this past week?
Well, I felt very good about Drake May, and I've been saying this all preseason. I mean, I'm glad football is back. Drake May had a chance, and the whole Joe Milton thing's got to stop. Drake May, he's good. I mean, he had one pass. I don't know if anybody saw it. It was incomplete because Baker didn't catch it, but he hit him about 50 yards downfield. He stepped in the pocket and shifted to his left, and it was a dime. It was a perfect pass. I mean, it's incomplete, but still, you just look, and then he's running the ball in. He's quick. I mean, he's 6'4", 225. That's Josh Allen size. He's quick. It's just something in New England we haven't seen in forever. I mean, and now Gerard Mayo, the head coach, comes out and goes, well, the starting QB hasn't been, solidified yet, but yet everybody's saying, oh, yeah, it's going to be Jacoby Brissett. I want no part of Jacoby Brissett. I don't care. Put in Drake May and let them go 3-14 and then get the number 1 pick next year. You don't have to get a quarterback. And then you could trade that. Imagine that. You get the number 1 pick and you trade it for like what you're really going to need. They could do that too. I want Drake May all the time. I think he's great. And you are right. Football is back. I'm excited. Manchester City won. Arsenal won. Liverpool won.
God. Get out of here.
It was unbelievable. I mean, it's back, baby. EPL is back. Let's go. Holland scored another goal, man. That's 91.
Stop it.
Football. Sorry.
Somebody mute that guy.
My bad.
You mute. You have the power. Mute. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said like 15 seconds.
Yeah. Jeez. Yes. I did. I texted Brian. I was like, it's weird to see a mobile quarterback in a Patriots uniform. It was odd. But another team that probably could use something is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They can use a little bit of everything. We were just talking about that. That team looked very bad. And it's only preseason. It is so bad. Poor Russell Wilson can't even throw the ball. Justin Fields wishes he could throw the ball. I don't know how that guy is even where he's at right now. I think I made this claim. We have to go back and listen. I think I made a claim at some point that Justin Fields will be a career backup for the rest of his career. I think I made that. And if I didn't, I'll make that claim right now. Justin Fields will not be a starter unless it's by injury. That's all I'm saying.
All right. I'm
right there.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
Bobby
Write that
Drew
down.
said.
We'll keep receipts.
Yeah. There we go. But preseason's fun. We're going to see a lot of cool things. This is week 3 coming up. We might see some starters play a whole first quarter to get a feel of the offense. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen. So fantasy football is right around the corner. But with playing preseason, we have lots of injuries and stuff that are going to take place. And lots of we just need to get into that. So
News and injuries.
News and injuries around the league in the NFL. And boy, do we have a whole list, 2 lists to be exact. I don't even know which side to start with anymore. Let's start with the Buffalo Bills. We'll run through these real quick because there is a lot. Curtis Samuel, he is week to week with turf toe. That is not good. Turf toe for a wide receiver, bad, very bad. They also have MVS, which is Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's going to be missing multiple weeks due to a neck injury. That's 2 wide receivers down right now for the Buffalo Bills. Then we have the Bengals, Chris Evans, the backup running back, or what we thought maybe backup part-time running back, 50-50. He's placed on the IR. He might be out and done for the season. That's a leg injury. That's pretty important when you're a running back. You do need your legs to do your job. So that's something to monitor. The Browns, David Njoku and Amari Cooper, they are both questionable, but they're undisclosed. We don't know what's going on there, but they are both questionable. Something to monitor if your drafts are coming up. The Dallas Cowboys, we have Brandon Cooks with a knee injury. He's working with the rehab group right now. So we don't know all the details, but he is injured. And then CeeDee Lamb, he is not practicing, and the reason is money. Jerry Jones, pay that guy. Pay the guy. Just get that guy's money. But he is not practicing right now. And we only have 1 week of preseason left, and then it's full swing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. The Detroit Lions, Sam Laporta, hamstring injury. Jahmyr Gibbs, hamstring injury. Hamstrings are on full swing right now. I feel like the hamstrings are protesting the NFL. We're going to make this the worst week 1 of history. Then we have the Green Bay Packers. Marshawn Lloyd has a hamstring injury, and that is a little important because we were thinking that he might be a sleeper to pick late, because if Josh Jacobs go down, Marshawn Lloyd was looking really good. Looks like A.J. Dillon's going to take that RB2 position. The Jacksonville Jaguars, Christian Kirk, he's out with a calf injury. Calves and hamstrings is something you're going to notice throughout this list. And then for the Kansas City Chiefs, Hollywood Brown. If you watch that game, he had one play. He got hit. He was down, out for the rest of the game. They're like, it's not serious. Turns out it's pretty serious. He's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks due to a sternoclavicular, whatever that is. Sterno, probably something in this area. Yeah. Yeah, he got hit right in the chest. Raiders.
But did he die, though?
He did not die. Damar Hamlin, he did.
But did he die?
Did he die? He did not. No CPR was required.
Oh, thank God.
The Raiders, Devontae Adams, says he tweaked something. I don't know. Maybe he just wants a trade. Chargers, Justin Herbert, he has this plantar fasciitis thing going on his foot. It's actually kind of serious. That stuff is no joke. They say he is currently recovering right now. He was present at practice. So keep an eye on that because that affects that whole offense. Rams, Matthew Stafford, hamstring injury. Man, these hamstrings. Puka Nacua has a knee injury. He's going to miss. He might miss week 1. The Minnesota Vikings, we have J.J. McCarthy. Moment of silence for J.J. McCarthy's first year. There it is. I see people online. They were like, he's going to be judged by that interception. That's going to be his whole career. It might be his whole career. He tore his meniscus. He's out for the season. T.J. Hawkinson tore his ACL last season, and he's going to miss possibly the first 7 weeks. And then we have the New York Jets. Mike Williams. This guy lives on the injury report. He's recovering from an ACL tear from last season. He expects to start taking some reps with the team, so we'll see what happens there. The Steelers, Jaylen Warren, it's a hammy again. He's going to miss multiple weeks. Or maybe that guy was just like, you know what? It's not worth it. He saw the first preseason game. He's like, you know what? I don't know if I want to play this season. My hammy feels a little tight. He's done. 49ers, CMC, calf injury. And then his backup, Elijah Mitchell, hamstring. That's it.
Listen, last year, I heard of one hamstring injury. Probably because I only paid attention to it because it was Aaron Jones on my team.
Right.
But last year was the Achilles. This year it's the year of hammies.
It seems that way. That's a lot of injuries, but we're going to move on from that. We have our top 10 quarterbacks for this fantasy football season we want to get into. So let's jump right into our top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10 fantasy football quarterbacks for the 2024 season. Now, remember, this is all before the season starts. This is all opinions and assumptions and really just us guessing based off of our knowledge in our noggin. So we could be right, we could be wrong, but we won't know until the last whistle blows of the season. Anything is possible. So Dave went first week 1. Brian went first week 2. I'm going to go first this time. I am very nervous about going first. I feel like all the pressure's on me. That I could really mess this up.
Yep.
So be nice to me, guys. My top 10 quarterbacks, and I did make sure I have 10 this time. I double checked. So my top 10, until he's not number 1, Josh Allen. I got Josh Allen at number 1. I don't think Stephon Diggs really matters for his production. It's going to let Josh Allen be Josh Allen more. So Josh Allen, number 1. At number 2, I have Lamar Jackson. I think Derrick Henry is going to really help him out on that offense and open up some things for him. Number 3, we got Patrick Mahomes. Brian needs to fix his face. Number 3, I have Patrick Mahomes because he's Patrick Mahomes. All right. Number 4, Jalen Hurts. Now I had Jalen Hurts. I think moved back a little bit on my list because the tush push is gone. But I think he's still going to run and throw for some touchdowns in the 5-yard line. Jalen Hurts. Number 5, I got Brock Purdy because, yes, Dave. I got Brock Purdy at number 5. That offense, until that offense breaks, I can't. I was honestly trying not to put him in my top 5, but he ends up in my top 5. So number 6, I got Jared Goff, and at number 7, I got C.J. Stroud. Number 8, you guys, this is not me being a homer. I was looking at all the stats, and number 8, I got Jordan Love. Number 9, I got Dak Prescott. And at number 10, I have Baker Mayfield. I do have 3 honorable mentions that I would like to throw in there, that these are players that I feel like if everything goes right, there's some question marks in the air, but I feel like these 3 guys right here can make it into the top 10. I don't have him in there right now, but I would not be surprised. So one is Tua for the Miami Dolphins, just because he has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. He has so many weapons. If they're throwing the ball, then somebody's got to throw the ball. It's going to be Tua. So that's the only reason. He's in there by default because his wide receivers. Number 2 would be Kirk Cousins. If that offense is able to, fire on all cylinders, he's got a lot of weapons there. He can be a top 10, I believe. And then here we go. This is the one you guys are probably going to, mock at. But Aaron Rodgers with that Jets defense, if everything's on a go, you got Breece Hall, you got Garrett Wilson, all that stuff going for you. If it happens, everything goes right, everybody stays healthy, I think Aaron Rodgers could squeeze in, not to the top 5. He'd be in like the top of the top 10, the bottom part of it. So that is my top 10 quarterbacks for this NFL fantasy football season. Now, I saw some faces, and you guys can talk about it real quick if you want to.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Well, I would say, here's what I would say. Number 1, you basically you just reshuffled last year's top 10 list, with the exception of C.J. Stroud. So I think it's a good list. I don't know about some of it, although I do. Okay, then. Go ahead, Brian.
I mean, it is a quarterback list, and normally the top 10 stay about the top 10. But for you to have Lamar Jackson at number 2, I did throw up in my mouth. I literally did. I'm sorry.
You know what? Hey.
And your explanation, he's got Derrick Henry. Yeah. So that means Lamar can't run. And guess what? Lamar can't throw. Have you seen this guy try to hit somebody past 30 yards?
I'm thinking they're going to go read options with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson.
Fair enough, but
we'll see.
As number 2,
are they doing? What are they doing in preseason so far?
No, you can't preseason. No matter. It's your list. I mean, it can't be wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
I just think it's way too high. I mean, and Jalen Hurts, your reasoning too. Good Lord. That guy
One.
without the tush push last year scored like 35 points all year.
Right. And I took that away, but I think, with them having the tush push gone, my thought process on that is within the 5 yard, they're going to have Saquon there, but I could see maybe some QB sneaks or draws. I could also see them just dumping it to Dallas Goedert. You got a big AJ Brown in that 5 yard line, just throw a fade or something. So I think the tush push, yes, being taken away from the 1 yard line is going to hurt. But at the same time, I think within that 5 yard line, you have so many options with Jalen Hurts there.
Okay. Fair enough. Good list.
If you do notice, and my outside, despite Brock Purdy in that top 5, really the top 4, they're all running quarterbacks, or they're mobile quarterbacks. I could say that at least, and that's to me that's pivotal. Like Jordan Love, he's athletic, but he's not a running quarterback. C.J. Stroud's not a running quarterback. Jared Goff is definitely not a running quarterback. And Dak Prescott, he's never really been known as running either. I think the fantasy football wise, running quarterbacks, I made a huge mistake.
Second week in a row.
Mistake.
Who'd you forget?
I forgot Kyler Murray. Bro.
Too late.
Oh boy. Well, let's just wait. Hey, let's just wait and see my list and Dave's list, and let's see if we forgot him too, or if you were just a dumb one that forgot him.
Oh, I can't believe. How did I?
Because you had Lamar Jackson at number 2. That threw your whole list off.
Bro.
All right, I can't change it. I mean,
no, you can't. There's no go backsies. There's no do overs.
All right, Brian, what do you got?
All right. Number 1, I have Josh Allen, obviously. Hey, Bobby, this will cheer you up. Number 2, I got Jordan Love.
Whoa.
Absolutely. And I know you said not a running quarterback. You're about to be surprised this year. I've actually been watching your Packers. I'm actually impressed with game film and, just seeing what they're doing. I just think Jordan Love he's going to surprise a lot of people. Number 3, I got Dak Prescott, just because I think Dak Prescott is great. Number 4, I got Patrick Mahomes. Number 5, my boy, the only one that can beat Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. Number 6, Kyler Murray. Yeah, he's on my list. Number 7, which I have him 7, that's where he belongs, is Lamar Jackson. Number 8, C.J. Stroud. Number 9, Brock Purdy. And number 10, Jalen Hurts. And I actually went while I was doing them, and I looked at the projections for this year for all those quarterbacks. Believe it or not, like my list doesn't go with what they project. So I wrote them down to keep it for the whole season, to kind of see what people were projecting compared to what they finished with. But they had Jalen Hurts as the number 1 quarterback. Come on.
I saw that on a lot of lists. And the thing is, where did he finish last year? Number 2 last year, Jalen Hurts. But now you guys are the ones telling me the tush push is gone. That's been ruled out? That's happened. Right. Yeah. Like you're the only talking heads that I hear saying that.
No, it's done. And not only that, you got to remember Jason Kelce retired.
Yeah, well,
his
that's another thing.
Pusher is gone.
Yeah, so it might not have worked.
Anyway,
listen, our list is very similar, Brian.
Well, that's because we're pretty smart.
Surprisingly, because I'm not the sports guy.
Yeah, you're a mini sports guy. I just rub off on you.
So, let me see what you said. Joe Burrow. Last year he started the year injured, didn't he?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Or with an injury in the preseason or whatever, and kind of.
They were worried about the calf, and then he ended up hurting his wrist.
Yeah. Bobby Drew, cracking me up, dude.
He's still upset.
All right, listen. Are you ready for mine?
Yeah, go. I'm gonna write it down.
Listen, we all agree on something. Josh Allen. I got it number 1. I was kidding around before the show. I said Baker Mayfield.
No.
And
Bobby Drew put him on his list instead of Kyler Murray. That guy's smart.
Listen, Baker finished in the top 10 last year.
Yeah, he was good.
Squeaked in at number 10. But here's the thing. Josh Allen, he's an excellent passer. He rushes the ball. He's going to score touchdowns. He's going to throw touchdowns and run them as well. I've got him at number 1. I have nothing to back my number 2 guy. Other than I just have a good feeling, and it troubles me so much because I don't like the Falcons.
You got Kirk Cousins?
I've got Kirk Cousins, bro. I know. I'm throwing it out there. Disagree with me? I don't care.
Whatever.
I'm probably wrong, but I've got him down there. Okay. I went with it.
Okay.
Guess who didn't make my list? Not even in my list.
Lamar Jackson.
Not
even on your list.
Not even on my list.
Cool.
I question that because I was going through the internet. I'm looking at all these other lists, and it's like, Lamar number 1 or Jalen Hurts number 1. I'm just thinking about the changes and what's been added to the team.
Right. Yep.
All right. I got Joe Burrow at number 3.
All right.
He's coming into the season all good.
Oh, yeah.
At least so far. I don't know. We got a little bit of time, but he's coming in all good. Dak Prescott at number 4. Patrick Mahomes, I've got at 5. I've got C.J. Stroud at 6. I'm excited about the Texans this year.
Yep.
I got Jordan Love at 7. I've got a guy named Kyler Murray at number 8. Who's he throwing to this year? Does he have any wide receivers?
No tight end, no running back. Yeah, he's got nobody.
Not like, who was their first round pick?
Some guy named MHJ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll probably be all right.
Yeah, he might be good.
I got Jalen Hurts at number 9. I still think he's going to be in the top 10 because he is a running quarterback. It may not be the tush push, but he's still going to run the ball and get points that way. And then I've got Brock Purdy at number 10. I know y'all probably expected me to have him a lot earlier.
Yeah.
But
I did.
In fact, I think both of you had him earlier than I did.
Yes.
But he's still in my top 10.
I had him one position ahead of you.
You did. Actually, we had him and Jalen Hurts just flip-flop. But where did you had Kyler Murray at 6? I've got him at 8.
Mahomes, I had him at 4. You had him at 5.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, I had him at 3. You had him at 4. I mean, this is a pretty good list, Dave. I mean, the Cousins thing.
I know. I had to do it though. But
at least you had Kyler Murray.
I think the important thing on fantasy when it comes to, I think in certain cases, stacking is going to be good. Quarterback and wide receiver. If you can get the number 1 guy and the quarterback on the same team.
Oh yeah.
I think everybody. Who did you have? All right, you were the fantasy football champ last year, Bobby Drew.
He didn't even have a quarterback. He had a rolling quarterback.
You went like what was your quarterback scenario? You were like you played the field, didn't you?
He had that Washington quarterback for a little bit. Then he did have Kyler Murray before he got hurt, and then he used I forget. I think he didn't even have a quarterback in the Super Bowl, and he still won. He had like 50 points.
Well, I had going into the week, I had 2 quarterbacks on my roster. I had Joe Flacco and Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray was slated to come back. I had Joe Flacco. He was on a hot streak, and I didn't know what to do because I can't remember who Cleveland was playing, but they had they're playing a very good defense, and I was very worried. So I was like, I think it was the Ravens. I think they're playing the Ravens that week, and I said, I'm not playing Joe Flacco. And I checked my phone because I wasn't able to watch the game, and
30 points
by halftime he had 30 points, and I'm like, this is so dumb. Why did I do this? But thankfully, he only ended with like 37, and then Kyler got me like 32 or 33 that week. So
it worked out. Well, the point I was going for, and it was just a bad example, I guess, but I was doing some research, and a lot of people that win their fantasy football league, do it with, if you get that right mix of doubling up or stacking, it's got to be the right scenario though, between quarterback and receiver. And it
And you got to
varies
hope
these
for no
days.
injuries. That's the thing too.
I stuck with the same quarterback all year last
Yeah.
year, Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts, except for a bye week. I don't
Right.
even remember who I went with
Right.
or who I had. But
Yep.
Well, my list is trash. So
yeah, it is.
It really was the worst list.
Brian, I'm
If it-
surprised how close you and I have been. I think
Yeah,
the
I
bald
mean,
heads are leaking up. or
you're
something.
really doing some research, man. It's good. You know, you're really thinking. You know, using your noggin. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man, you're prepared. I mean, you know what's up.
Let's see. Do you
Actually,
guys know?
listen, but when you look at it, let's talk about the quarterbacks that didn't make the list.
Okay.
Like Kyler Murray. No.
Oh no, he made the list.
Well, yeah.
I feel like I should get a live redo right now.
Look, here's the thing. Like quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, you know he's going to be a solid quarterback. If he doesn't get injured, everything, but is he going to be top 10? I don't know. He's still on a new team, even though he's been there a year, but he hadn't played in a year. You know what I mean? So he ought to at least know the system, and it's not like his, as far as that goes, and he is a veteran, but he could end up in the top 10.
Right.
Who else is
Matthew Stafford with his receivers and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, you got Matt Stafford. I mean, we don't know what these rookies could do either. I mean, Jaden Daniels. I mean, he's a running quarterback too.
Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
He was top 10 last year.
Yep.
Let me see.
Jared
Let me
Goff.
look.
Yeah.
I think I had Goff, didn't I?
No.
I didn't.
Bobby.
Yeah, he was the one on my list where I thought, man, here's a guy that's not on my list.
Right.
Let's see. I'm seeing a lot about the Jaden Daniels with Washington.
Yeah.
A lot of guys have him in their top 10.
Yep.
Anthony Richardson with.
I don't know the love affair people have. I can't.
I don't know, but I'm
he
seeing
was terrible in college, and he was. I mean, no.
I'm seeing him as like as high as like QB5.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't see it
in projections.
Could we?
When you have Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman, like you shouldn't be running the ball. Like you shouldn't be a running quarterback. You have Jonathan Taylor, and then you have Downs that when Taylor comes out. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I've seen multiple lists that have him in the top 5. I don't know. I don't get it.
Oh, and even Tua, I don't think you had Tua in yours or no?
No, he had him in honorable mention.
Oh, honorable mention.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, with his receiving core, I mean, the thing is, because he could have one pass go for 70 yards.
Exactly.
Like he could get one a game.
5-yard dump off, and Tyreek Hill is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, he might be one of those, that honorable mention that probably should be on all of our lists, but wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And where did he finish last year? He finished as QB9 last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So still top 10.
Yep.
So I'm looking at some red zone reports from last year. So these would be within the 20-yard line and closer. I have the 20 and the 10-yard zone. So like players like Dak Prescott, they almost live within the red zone. He had 28 of his touchdowns came within the 20-yard line. 18 of those touchdowns, 18 out of 28 came within the 10-yard line.
Wow.
Jordan Love had 25 touchdowns within the 20. 18 of those were within the 10. Patrick Mahomes had 24 touchdowns within the 20, and 22 of those were within the 10-yard line.
Wow.
So you look at those offenses. I mean, yes, they live and die by the red zone, but at the same time, those quarterbacks, that's showing that those offenses have the ability to move down the field, which is what you want. So when and you look at these offenses, some of them have had some moving pieces, some of them didn't. Like Jared Goff, he had 19 touchdowns within the 20. 12 of those were within the 10. That offense, they didn't really lose much this offseason. So if anything, they're going to get better as a unit. The Rams, Matt Stafford had 18 touchdowns within the 20. 15 of those were within the 10. That team, if they're fully healthy, they're 100% better than they were last season. And Mahomes, nothing's really changed over there. They just have some moving pieces. Nothing's going to change about that. Jordan Love and Dallas lost some players, so we don't know how that's going to affect that. But Jordan Love with the Packers, adding Josh Jacobs. How is that going to affect the ones within the 10-yard line? Things of that nature. We don't know, but everybody's expecting the Packers to be better. We don't know what's going to happen, but that's the hype around that. So those are some offenses that last year were able to move the ball. You would assume that they're going to be able to get within. So I'm going to look at it. You guys can talk amongst yourself, but C.J. Stroud, for instance, we know he had a good season. I'm going to look at his red zone stats, because if he's scoring outside of the red zone, that's a red flag to me at the same time.
Well, one of the things we got to look at too, because in all of this, you got to decide who your kicker is going to be. So you might not want that quarterback that gets to the red zone and can't score, but you might want the kicker on that team, because he's going to have field goals for days.
Oh, yeah.
Either that, or just how many times are they scoring touchdowns and he's getting all them extra points.
Mm-hmm.
So C.J. Stroud,
stupid. Don't listen to anything I just said.
Well, it makes sense, though.
Yeah, well.
It was a good tape.
wow. So C.J. Stroud last season had 23 touchdowns in total. That's what he threw for. 16 of those touchdowns were within the 20-yard line, and 10 touchdowns were within the 10-yard line. So they're killing it in the red zone. But
well, how many add all with whatever you're looking at, do you show how many red zone attempts there were, or like how many times did they get to the red zone and they scored touchdowns this many times versus how many times were they there?
Yeah, so I don't have the complete offense, but as far as passing attempts, he had 64 passing attempts within the 20-yard line, and 69% of those turned out to be touchdowns. 30 attempts within the 10, and 43% ends up being touchdowns. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good numbers. Yeah. Like, hey, over half the time that he throws the ball within the 20 is a touchdown, and just under half of the time he throws the ball within the 10 is a touchdown. It's a 50-50 chance that you're going to score a touchdown with C.J. Stroud. Wow. But your guys' lists were great. Mine was terrible.
I agree. I think I'm going to switch C.J. Stroud and Kirk Cousins on my list.
I feel like an idiot. Because it's my show and my name's all over it, I'm going to do a live top 10 right here. I'm going to repick my top.
No, you did this last time.
No, I didn't. I had an extra pick last time because I forgot one. It's different. I'm doing
get your people to get your list together better, man. You need new people or something.
You need an intern, man. What do you have over there?
Chat
what are you
GPT.
doing, man?
Sorry, it's Chat GPT over here. All right, number 1. I'm putting.
No, we're not doing this.
Yes, Josh Allen.
No.
I'm gonna mute you.
You can't mute me.
Josh Allen, number 1.
I will unmute myself.
Dave, don't let me do it.
Listen. You don't get this do-over, man.
Josh Allen,
live
number
and
1.
Die.
I don't like my list. I'm gonna redo it.
Yeah. Josh Allen, number 1. And just this, you guys are gonna freak out about this one. You guys ready for this? Josh Allen, number 1. Kyler Murray, number 2. Lamar Jackson, number 3. And then I'm going to put Jalen Hurts at 4. And then
you put Jackson and Hurts above Mahomes. This list is terrible too. You should just stop.
Just listen. Just listen.
I think we're going to lose
Mahomes at 5. Joe Burrow at 6.
People have to trust us, dude.
Purdy at 7.
You can't do it over.
Oh.
You know what? Just for that, Dave, Jordan Love at 7.
I don't care. Where you put
Purdy. No, you know what? Purdy's number 10. I'm skipping. Purdy's number 10 just because of that.
This is ridiculous.
Number 8, I'm going to put CJ Stroud.
Oh my goodness.
Number 9, man, I got to go Jared Goff.
Oh my
Oh
God.
boy.
So my new list is Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, Jared Goff, and Brock Purdy.
All right. So here's what we got to do.
And you left Dak Prescott off the list? Yeah, you're smart.
Did you? I wasn't even paying attention to that, but here's the go. You need to save both lists and both of your lists from last week.
Yeah.
All right. It's like your dual personality, Bobby and Drew.
Wait.
It's like two different people.
Yeah.
I didn't have 2 lists last week. I had to add a name in because I
Okay.
forgot one. That's different.
At the end of the season, we need to do a show to revisit all these lists to see where we were. And who had the most.
Right.
Yeah,
At least we're going to have to figure this out because there's going to have to be a winner and there's going to have to be a loser.
Yep.
And then, I don't know, we're going to have to think of something, what the loser gets.
Let's do.
And I hope it's you.
It's probably going to be me. Let's do. Let's do some quick picks here. All right. Let's say you're drafting your number 1 your quarterback. This is your QB1. All right. And you have to pick between these 2 players. We'll go Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott.
Dak.
All right. Joe Burrow or CJ Stroud.
Joe Burrow.
What'd you say?
I said Joe Burrow. I was loading that up just in case you said Josh Allen.
Oh,
But
Brian,
Joe Burrow.
What did you say, Brian?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Okay. Let's do Jordan Love or Brock Purdy.
Jordan Love.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's tough.
I like
that's a
Brock
tough
Purdy, but I might agree with Jordan Love.
All right. Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen. I'm still thinking about the Jordan Love thing. I think Jordan Love has a better upside than Brock Purdy. I think we pretty much know exactly what we're going to get with Brock Purdy.
Yep.
I think Jordan Love, this is going to be
he's got a higher ceiling. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last one. We'll do Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson.
Kyler Murray.
All right, good deal. Well, I'm going to delete the parts where my lists are at because they're absolutely trash.
No.
Terrible.
Right.
You need to do more
I wrote down
prep.
the original list here, so.
Yeah, I have both of my lists here. I'm going to throw all of it away. I'll probably just cut it out and keep your guys' list and just throw mine away.
No, we're keeping all the lists because I'm telling you, we got to do this at the end of the year. We've done wide receivers, running backs, now quarterbacks. Are we going to do another top 10 tight ends?
Yes, we're going to do tight ends for sure. And then we're going to combine kickers and defense. Nah, I don't know. Maybe we're definitely doing tight ends. We're going to do tight ends for sure.
And
we're going to do a mock draft. So we have a tight end list coming up, and we have a mock draft that we're going to do. So that's going to be in the near future for our next episodes. All right. Well, I feel like the wide receiver list for me was my best one yet. My running back one was my QB one trash. I'm going to throw this thing. Just throw that thing right over there. All right, guys. That was our top 10 QBs list. If you guys want to join our pick and pool, we do have a pick and pool on Sleeper. There's going to be a link right down there in the description. Free to join, and you get to pick who you think is going to win every week, every game. So I'm in that. I know Brian's in there. Dave is going to join at some point.
I will be there.
He's going to be there. He's going to be in there.
He's holding out like CeeDee Lamb. He'll be there when CeeDee Lamb signs.
I was working. I'm sorry. Some of us have to work.
Yeah, when CeeDee Lamb gets paid, that's when Dave's going to join.
Yeah, that's right. I will protest.
All right, y'all. We'll see you guys next episode. That's our top 10 QBs list. Next time, catch us for our top 10 tight ends. Peace out.
Buy our merch.
Yes, buy our merch.
Thank you for watching another episode of The Bobby Drew Show. Be sure to follow us on all of our social medias at The Bobby Drew Show.